I'd like to call to order the 2026 July 27th meeting with a record of attendance, please.
Bizzle.
Here.
Drake.
Here.
Robinson.
Here.
Teach out.
Here.
Turnbow.
Here.
Where?
Present.
We'll start off with the opening prayer by Tom Robinson and Pledge of Allegiance by D. Bizzle. Please stand.
Let's pray. Dear Lord, we thank you for your many blessings. We thank you for the opportunity to care for the world you have made. We would ask that your blessing would rest on this council, that you would give us great vision and enthusiasm for our work. Please bless the efforts of our hands, the bonds between us, and the influences of our work in this community. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Again, welcome everybody. Good to see everybody out tonight. We'll start this off with a public hearing. The chair would accept a motion to adjourn into the public hearing.
Make a motion, we adjourn into public hearing.
Second.
Motion made and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are now in public hearing. Zach, you have the floor.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. This is a standard procedure for a CDBG project that nearing completion, we have a public hearing to take comments on questions or concerns on any of the work that's been done. This one specifically for an update on the current drainage projects being funded by the Missouri Department of Economic Development. That's 2023 GI02DR and 2024 GI02DR. So Frontenberger Concreters have almost completed that new drainage infrastructure along Tanner, Lynn and Applegate and Anderson. Our project administrator will finalize the paperwork once all that work is completed and inspected and a certificate of completion is obtained. Mitzi Dell and the CDBG representative are finalizing their monitoring processes. Then the closeout paperwork will be completed and reviewed by the city. The city remains in compliance with and in good standing with the state of Missouri and CDBG regulations and is eligible to apply for additional funding next fiscal year. Is there any comments or concerns?
If you have comments, just so some of you might not have been here since we've got the rule. If you have comments, please step to the podium, address the council, sign the piece of paper. You'll have 3 minutes to speak. And if there are any comments, yes, ma'am.
My name is Diane Groves. I live with my sister at 116 Meadowbrook Drive, which is the last street in the Greenbrier subdivision. I've been through this with you all back in 2013 or 14. It was when we had the huge rain in December. The ditch, when Greenbrier subdivision was started, Mrs. Huff donated that ditch as a drainage ditch for the Greenbrier subdivision. In the contract, it stipulates the city is to maintain that ditch. I moved in with my sister in 2011, and the ditch had not been cleaned out since the ice storm of 2009. I have pictures of that particular night. The water, we had 11 inches in the garage, and it lacked about a half to a fourth of an inch of coming in our house. Now, we're not in a flood zone, so if the house floods, insurance is not going to cover it. I've called several times and called several people. It did get cleaned out in 13 or 14, I can't remember. It was when you first came in, Mr. Douglas, and it cleaned out and really did good for a while. In the past few years, I've got pictures. I bought duck waders. I can go to the middle of our street and the water will be up to my hip. This last rain we had, my nephew was staying at the house, and he did get out, but he's got a huge truck, and the water was over his tires. Water drained down within 6 hours. We couldn't get out of the house at all with our cars. I have been told several different things that don't have the money for it. I've been told there's a problem with the Little River drainage, which was designed by the Corps of Engineers back in the 30s for this very problem, because this whole area is, or was, low. And I understand that. But it's just, I don't understand why, like I said, 13 or 14, and nothing's been done. And we live on the east side of the railroad track. That's owned by Northwestern, and I've called them because their culvert, which is huge, is 4 inches off of the bottom of the ditch, and it's rusted out on one side. But the ditch goes through that culvert and then flows west. My time's up. Anyhow, west of the railroad track, it's a forest. There are trees and bushes. I couldn't walk through it on a dry day.
I can add a little information to Ms. Grove's testimony. We actually have out for bid right now a clean out of both sides of that ditch. So we are taking bids right now. We've gotten lots of calls. I have also received a letter from the Richland Drainage District threatening to sue us because we're doing that. So we got challenges there, but we are proceeding forward. We're going to restore it to its original design like we've always done, and get those trees cleaned out. And yeah, those culverts do have a problem. They also tilt the wrong way, so they don't start draining until later than they should.
I walked all the way around Greenbrier. I see people blowing their lawns after they mow into that. That's not what it's for. And they did come out, and the one west of us, the storm drainage, had weeds growing out of it. And 2 guys came and they cleaned it out and did a great job. And I caught them, and your pipe goes out into the ditch. It's wonderful, but where the BMU has those green, whatever they are, it's always been low, but there was a sinkhole large enough for a child to hurt themselves if they fell in, and he walked back there and the pipe had actually busted, which led to a very bad sinkhole. But, and I appreciate them coming out and cleaning that out. It's just, it irritates me that people will let stuff go into those storm sewers. They're not meant for anything but water. But I appreciate you letting me speak.
I thought at one time we had mopped that.
Yeah, we have done at least one time since then.
I thought it was since I've been in mayor, I thought we mopped it
Yeah,
once.
I thought we did it about 2 years ago.
They came by last year and the year before last with backhoe.
Yeah.
Now, and I stopped the man. He dug it out and put it on the side of the ditch. Now, we have a heavy rain and we've got a bunch of dirt on the side of the ditch. And you all have, I guess people have complained about snakes and critters and things, and that doesn't bother me. But there is absolutely nothing. They killed all the weeds and everything on the ditch, on the bank. And the bank slope varies, and right behind us, it's a pretty good slope behind us. But, he dug it out and then put the dirt right on the ditch bank. And I said, where do you think that dirt's going to go if we get a heavy rain? But, he did come and do that, but, and I know at one time they were going to cut the tree line down. That would be horrendous, because they farm behind us. We'd have to plant some kind of trees or something to keep when he's plowing and this and that. the dust is just horrible.
The contract that we've got, or the bids that we got coming out, can we make those whenever have we already put them out for bid, right?
They're out for bid right now.
When they get awarded and stuff like that, then we just need to let people know that they're coming. And I guess, what kind of time frame are we looking at?
Brian, do you know what, once it's awarded?
August the 5th. So that will come to the council, the last council meeting
In August?
for approval. So I figure we'll get notice to proceed first week of September.
I know it does happen, but typically in August, we might get one big rain because it's rodeo, and rodeo usually gets one big rain every year, but
I mean, I do understand that rain in December was horrendous. And I mean, you know, I understood that. But it happened again in March. And like I said, once it was cleaned out, you know, we would have water in the street with the car out. But I can't tell you how many times, and she's taking pictures, that I've waded out to the middle. And it's, our house is 116 Meadowbrook. The house to the west of us is 149 Greenbrier, and there's a big cul-de-sac circle of grass that you all mow. And like I said, her house has a slight, I mean, it's not flat, it's a slight upward, you know, pavement to the garage. But there have been many times that I've walked out there and had water up over my knees and even up to my hips in the middle of Meadowbrook Drive, or the last part of Meadowbrook Drive. You know, now this last time it took it about 5.5 hours, and it was down enough to where we could get a car out.
we're trying our best. I mean, as you see the work around town, you see that we're trying to get more retention ponds. We're trying to get the water out where it can go out. And then when it goes to a drainage district, if it's full, then guess what? It doesn't have anywhere to go. It's going to back up. And so when you look at it, all that, then that's where the retention ponds become more effective. And we're putting those in as often as we can, where we can. But cleaning out that ditch, we'll just have to get the contract on that. Then hopefully August won't have a downpour again, and let's see if we can
I
get.
understand it takes time. I mean, I understand that. I just wanted to bring that up. That's just, you know, I mean,
It affects more than Greenbrier. We represent Green Meadows. Green Meadows has a very shallow easement because of utilities and things of that nature. And we have gotten water from Greenbrier that came
yeah.
through to Green Meadows. Own issues with a very shallow easement. There's one easement to the back of the yards, but the front where the street is, it just collects in our yard. There's 5 houses in Green Meadows that have had lakes,
Oh, yeah.
which is, I'm not trying to do whatever, that's $1 million where the house is getting.
Well, I assure you, I mean, we're spending a lot of money. It's not, when we say budget, we're applying for grants, we're spending a lot of money trying to get all of that, like the water that goes down Allen. I know that a lot of times y'all get water, and me trying to understand public works, sometimes I get things crossed over just like the regular residents do, is, you know, that water on Allen, sometimes it gets backed up and it can't go anywhere. I think that backs up towards you too. And our goal, that's the reason why we did a lot of clean out, and there's a lot of new drainage pipes. It's
Kind of what we're asking for is a drainage pipe on the west side of Green Meadows. Coming into Green Meadows. Because there's only one easement for all the water from Green Meadows to go. We're just asking for a culvert that runs along the side of the street all the way out.
Let me add to the shallow ditch that's supposed to drain down to the drain at South Cedar Road. There is a AT&T green telephone box that sits basically in the middle of the ditch. So anytime you guys have come in the last few years to dig the ditch out, you stop right there because that box is in the way, and it's not graded right, so you get rain that drains on by South Cedar Road.
If you don't remember last time I was out there with rubber boots and,
They did good on the backyard easement. Can't handle all the water for the Green Meadows and from Greenbrier. And that's why I always call it the Satterfield house. That square box has nothing going into it.
well, and Jay Lancaster, who was the head of Public Works before, he's got a master plan of a lot of different.
Yeah, actually, Brian Dial and I met with John Chittenden at Waters Engineering last week. He's developing a plan that'll that involves the Greenbrier ditch, and it is true as we've looked at that water right there does move south into Green Meadows, and is part of the problem in Green Meadows too. So that project, as he's getting that done, should help both neighborhoods.
And anytime you have questions, I mean, we have council meetings every first and last Monday of the month. And I know if you come next Monday, probably nothing's going to be done right then. But to get some more explanation also, and want to come in and look at some maps and some of the things that are being done, we feel, our doors are open and come and you can look. I would rather, if you wanted to, come as a group, like the five of you coming and taking a look at it, then you can spread the word to your neighbors and all that. So that way you can see the exact thing that we're seeing going from the plans that with Waters and Jay and all that. So
Who would I contact?
right now, this man right here, but a little bit later it'll be that man. It might be a good segue. Well, I might as well introduce him now. Today is his first day. Richard McGill is now the assistant city manager. He comes to us from a lot of experience from New Meadow County and a lot of different areas. And Richard is going to be the assistant city manager and the head of public works. So he will be the new Jay, if you want to. So, but he's right now. He needs to look at the mapping and stuff like that. So right now it would be JD. That would be the person you can see, and it would probably be good for good exercise for him and
Absolutely.
Richard to go over it with you, because Richard has got to learn all this and see what plans we've already got in place, and we got it. It's like dominoes. You can only do one at a time, and each one knocks the next one down. So that's what we're going to try to do.
Brian Dial's been helpful. I can contact him, so he's fully aware. He's been
That Brian Dow? Well, he was, whenever that time it was got to fly, I forgot when that was, and I was going to work, and I ended up putting on rubber boots and was cleaning out the gutter, out the drains. Brian was there with me, so it's not something that we should be doing, but it's one of those things that it needed to be done at that time, so we did. But anyway, we will continue this conversation, and like I said, give us. Hopefully August is not going to be a rainy month. Usually you start getting into October, November, you start getting the rainy season again. And so hopefully we'll have some more things done before then. And as a matter of fact, it'd probably be good for Richard and Brian and JD all, and heck, if I'm available, be there too. And any of the council members that want to join too. So yeah, we will keep it on our agenda. Thank you. Thanks for coming out and expressing that. Is there any other questions or comments for Zach? See none, the chair.
Hi, I'm Annette Aikens. I live at 712 Moore. And I want to say that I feel frustrated with the work that's going on in that area, only because our roads are so bad over there. And if Tim is our ward guy, if you drive down Hunter or Moore, where they have put in new pipes, honestly, it's a mess. There are squares in the road this big where they haven't been, he's shaking his head, where they have not been filled in. I mean, they worked hard. I'm not fussing about them, but I'm just saying that if you look at the streets over there where that work is done, it really needs to be looked at. It would be appreciated if it was looked at. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do I need to sign this?
Yes, please. Tell them what work is going on now.
So the new water pipe, the main that's getting bored into our neighborhood over there, they've where they've cut out the strips of concrete, the 2x2 squares, to connect pipe to send the bore in.
And that was in front of my house. So for 2 months, I put up with a
So
huge.
they've got them, they're letting everything settle.
Yeah,
I'm guessing right now.
This is the BMU water
Correct.
project too. so-
Correct. So, obviously they're letting them settle and then hopefully filling in the 2x2 holes. But they are.
Yeah, we will definitely make sure that they go back and fix those.
Yeah, and we'll talk, because that's the BMU with the water line. Oh, speaking of BMU,
They're actually in the water pipe contractor has finished laying the pipe.
Right.
The part he's doing now is going back and fixing those holes. So in the same manner that JD just said, we've got to bid out to address this drainage issue, that's actually in progress to fix those holes.
spoken from horse's mouth right there, so thank you. Gonna have a water poster out for you, Rick. Is there any other questions for Zach? Seeing none, the chair would accept a motion to adjourn out of public meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion made second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are now in regular council meeting. Okay, moving right along. The first item of business is request to approve request for conditional use variance in-home daycare at 815 Apache. And Mr. Blevins, you have the floor.
Thank you. Good evening, council. So on the 8th of, on the 8th of July, Planning and Zoning did meet to hear for in-home daycare conditional use variance at 815 Apache. Miss Tiana Davis is the one that requested that. She actually had her daycare here once before at that address that council approved for the variance. She actually moved to a commercial style building, and due to unforeseen reasons that I do not know, she has asked to go back into her home. So she has had this approved there before, and as I told Planning and Zoning, we did not have any issues or any letters from any neighbors that being reapproved for her. So we're asking council to approve to let her start her daycare back up at her house.
Are there any questions or comments? Seeing none, the chair would accept the motion.
I make a motion, we approve the request for the conditional use variance at 815 Apache Drive.
Second.
Motion made second. Roll call vote.
Drake.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Teachout.
Yes.
Turnbow.
Yes.
Ware.
Yes.
Bizzle.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next item is authorization to replace airport courtesy vehicle. And Gage, you have the floor.
Good afternoon, council. The airport is just, we're requesting to replace our current courtesy car that we have. This is something me and Jay were working on last year, and it was kind of good timing because our last one got rear-ended. So we've been using an old DPS Crown Vic, and we were actually wanting to just kind of get something a little bigger for the crew or the crew members to take care of any business or go to lunch or whatever they need to do. So we actually gotten accepted in the budget for up to $15,000. This is based off of a quote that Jay got from Recar last year. So I think that's probably the area we're going to stay in. And yeah, we're just requesting to get that approved.
So you don't have a vehicle right now in mind, you're just...
We're using a temporary, yeah, no, it's, like I said, Jay went to Recar one day, saw one, and said that's kind of the one he wanted to go with. More of an SUV.
Yeah, what we've in the past, we would get bids on vehicles and then bring those to you with a specific vehicle from a specific vendor. Then during COVID, with some of the supply chain issues on vehicles in particular, we started. Yeah, we had to act faster. And particularly on used vehicles, which is what we'd be looking at here. We just get approval for a not to exceed amount and then go make the purchase. That was a policy change the council approved.
Yeah, I remember several times we'd approve it and then we'd go back and it'd be gone.
Yep.
So, are there any questions or comments? Yes, ma'am.
Airport get funds from the Essential Air Service Program, the federal funds?
Say that again?
Does our airport get funding from the Essential Air Services federal program? Because I know there's a story in Cape, because there could be some budget cuts coming up to that program. I'm just wondering if our airport gets any of those funds.
We do not. That affects the Part 139. So that's more the services that offer airlines, and we don't have an airline at Sikeston. So
Yeah, the regional carriers and stuff like that, like
Yeah.
Contour. Right.
We do get some funds from the FAA through MoDOT. We do get some funds. What do they call it? The non-entitlement funds, and they kind of build up over the years. Typically, we'll use capital projects like our runway projects and apron projects.
Any other questions? Seeing none, the chair will accept the motion.
Make a motion to approve the request to replace the airport courtesy vehicle, $15,000.
Second.
Motion made and second. Roll call vote. David, please.
Robinson.
Yes.
Teachout.
Yes.
Turnbow.
Yes.
Ware.
Yes.
Bizzle.
yes.
Drake.
Yes.
The next item, request for authorization to replace airport tow tractor. And Gage, you still have the floor.
All right. In the past, we've just kind of used a multi-purpose John Deere. That's kind of raised some concerns with some of our transient aircraft that fly in and tenants, because there are pieces of equipment that are made specifically for towing aircraft. We've actually tried to offer the service to some of our tenants here to move them out of their hangar, whether they need fuel or just put on a T, so when they come in to fly, everything's ready to go for them. And some of those guys show concerns with the multi-purpose tractor as well. So when I was actually working at Cape, we had these tow tractors, and a lot of these airports have them. I was kind of confused when I came here and we didn't have one, so I started talking to Jay about it, and we've kind of looked around and we found a good refurbished one for $35,000 out of North Carolina. And so we had gotten accepted in the budget for $40,000 to authorize this purchase.
And as this is the budgeted item? for
Yes.
y'all? Okay. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, the chair will accept the motion.
I'd like to make a motion to replace the airport tow tractor.
Second.
Motion made and second. Roll call vote. David, please.
Teachout.
Yes.
Turnbow.
Yes.
Ware.
Yes.
Bizzle.
Yes.
Drake.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Thank you. Next item is request authorization to purchase officer-issued tasers. And we have Lieutenant Jenkins.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Public Safety is seeking approval to enter into a 5-year contract with Axon for the purchase of 33 Taser 10 units through the Axon certification program. The annual cost is $44,298.64 for the 5-year contract period. Currently, officers are issued X26P models. This model was initially released in 2013 and severely lacks the technology and success rates when compared to the latest model, the Taser 10. The certification program includes all duty, training equipment, user licenses for evidence.com, and extended warranty. This is an approved budgeted item.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, the chair would accept the motion.
Make a motion, we approve the purchase of the new tasers.
Second.
Motion made and second. Roll call vote. David, please.
Turnbow.
Yes.
Ware.
Yes.
Bizzle.
Yes.
Drake.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Teachout.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
The next item is request authorization to purchase DPS Voice Gateway Voice Router Bundle. And we have Sam. Sam, you have the floor.
Good evening, council members. So I am here to request the purchase of Cisco Voice Gateway Model C8300. This is a budgeted item for this fiscal year. The DPS Voice Gateway C8300, which handles the admin lines for DPS and this. Our current appliance has been in service for over 15 years and is long overdue. Per Cisco, the new appliance should have reached about the same lifespan as our current one. The budgeted item that we have is, or the quote that I had originally gotten back in February, was for $37,063. The current quote that I currently have comes in now just a little bit under. The reason for that is because Cisco is pushing their year-end fiscal sales. So the new quote that I have is for $34,513.45. So that's approximately about $2,800 under the current quote. Again, this is a budgeted item, so the funds are there and allocated for this fiscal year.
So you're saying you got 34,000, am I looking at this wrong?
Yeah, so the new quote is lower than.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. All right, any questions or comments? Seeing none, the chair accepts the motion.
I make a motion to purchase the voice gateway.
Second.
Motion made and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Oh, roll call.
Roll call.
Oh, roll call vote. Got it. Roll call vote, David, please.
Ware.
Yes.
Bizzle.
Yes.
Drake.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Teach out.
Yes.
Turnbow.
Yes. I got confused whenever I saw that it was under the budgeted amount. I was trying to figure out what the heck was going on.
Got excited.
That doesn't happen very often. Okay, the next, request authorization to purchase server storage. You still have the floor.
All right. So the second item is going to be for a Dell server storage model 500T. What this server storage does is handles all of our servers throughout the city, handles all of our data and all of our operating systems within those servers. So currently what we have is the Unity 350F model, and that end of life with Dell is no longer going to support at the end of this month. So again, this one here is a little bit tricky. Again, when I go out to get numbers for these projects, it's back in February. But with the economy being so volatile within the electrical appliances, as far as when it comes to storage and memory, our current, so the bid that I went out to get in February was for $86,000. I'm sorry, it was for $62,000. But our current and updated quote is coming in at $86,000, which is approximately $24,000 more than the original quote. So I am here to ask for permission to continue with the purchase with an additional $24,000 of expenditures. And one of the ways that I'm going to go about to have funds for these projects is to cancel another project that I have, which was a door access system for the entire city, and that project was going to cost us $68,000. So what I'm proposing to do is cancel that project altogether to make room for this project.
And so the project that you're talking about that you canceled, and what did it do?
It's door access citywide, and that project was going to come in at around $68,000.
Okay.
But I can kind of push that out another year and kind of limp along to make room for this project, because this project is an absolute necessity, the storage is.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, the chair will accept the motion.
I move we authorize the purchase of the purchase server storage.
Motion made and second. Roll call vote, David, please.
Bizzle.
Yes.
Drake.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Teach out.
Yes.
Turnbow.
Yes.
Ware.
Yes.
Those are more budget items I'm used to hearing. It was more than less. The next item,
I appreciate that.
let's see, first reading of Bill 6407, amend section 375.010, bicycle and motorized bicycle defined to include electric personal mobility device. The chair would accept the motion for the first reading.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? First reading, David, I believe that's you, isn't it?
I don't have.
I can do it. Bill number 6407, bill is approved, shall become ordinance number 6407, shall amend chapter 375 bicycles and motorized vehicles of the Sikeston Municipal Code of the City of Sikeston, Missouri. This bill contains 5 parts and subparts and is read this first time on the 27th day of July, 2020.
All right. And who has the floor? Captain John Broom, you have the floor.
Good evening. What we're wanting to do is just add electric bicycles, hoverboards, skateboards. We've seen an increase in this within the community. And what will happen is by adding this definition to our already ordinance number, they would fall under the same regulations as bicycles or motorized bicycles. We just want to add the electric part.
So they would have to abide by the same rules.
The same rules. And currently, by not adding them, technically they don't have to abide by those rules.
Understand. Are there any questions or comments? Thank you. The next item is the first and second reading, emergency bill 6408, amending chapter 405, section 405.920, tables use, height, and area regulations. The chair would accept the motion for the first reading.
So moved.
Motion made second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? First reading.
I'll get you. Bill number 6408, an emergency ordinance of which upon approval shall become ordinance number 6408 and shall amend Title 4 Land Use, Chapter 405 Zoning Regulation and the Municipal Code of the City of Sikeston, Missouri. This bill contains 6 parts and subparts and is read the first time this 27th day of July, 2026.
Mr. Blevins, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mayor. So what this does, this asks for a change in the code for this to become a conditional use for any automobile service station or automobile repair within the downtown zoning. Currently, you are not allowed to have any kind of service, vehicle service allowed in the downtown area. That was put in by a previous council, so we are asking to give this back to go to P&Z as conditional use with final approval for council upon a business that applies to do automotive repair. There's several shops that were down here at one time. None of those have been used in several years, but there has been interest in one of those to be used maybe if this can be a change for them to have a chance to put their business in our city. So,
Okay. Any questions or comments? Yes, sir.
What that have to do with the tables and stuff? I didn't hear anything about tables and regulations.
So it's actually in the table. It actually tells what the conditional use is. If you go to our codes and you look up underneath where the zoning is, it tells you what businesses are allowed or are not allowed within each zone, which this table would change for C1, C2, C3, and
I understand that. Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Who else? No one else?
So the table is what's the table?
There is a table that lists the zoning categories and what types of businesses are allowed. So what this does is it adds the designation conditional use in the downtown district for these service stations.
It still has to be approved by the council.
Yeah, which means it's not an automatic, or it's not a by right use. It has to get a special approval.
So it would actually go to planning and zoning to ask for the conditional use, and then if that's approved by planning and zoning, then council would have the ultimate decision to be able to allow that type of business into this zone. We just don't put the whole table on there because it would.
Yeah, think more like table of content.
Yeah.
More like table of contents instead.
We just kind of shorten it.
Yeah, it's a list.
Any other comments?
So that's just allowing them to be there. Will there be at some point some type of restrictions or anything? How many cars can be out? How many Whether there's fencing, any of that stuff?
Well, it would all go underneath whatever the code says for automobile services. But we are encouraging those that have something in the downtown area to be a little more discreet with what they have, because that's originally why it was taken out. Nobody wanted it to look like one of the auto dealers who have wrecked cars and a bunch of stuff out behind their building. So this is, we were asked if they could do this with the purpose, and, you know, according to the code, because it's not passed, you cannot have this type of business downtown. But this just allows that conversation to happen now, if council approves it.
And by downtown, describe what is downtown.
So downtown zone, if I'm not mistaken, trying to look at it in my head, is from Trotter Street back to the north, and it would go all the way to, I think it's Tanner.
I think so too.
Is where it ends. And so it go as far as west as, I can't think the name of the street.
Probably Stoddard or Scott Street.
Yeah, it comes out right in there, right by the old granary, and then it goes back all the way to Main.
That's a pretty big area.
Yeah, it's just where it's boxed in there, which some of this downtown usage allowed for a lot of the homes on Tanner to remain as businesses instead of having to be homes, because there were several businesses that were put in there years ago that were used as businesses through those houses. So,
Makes sense.
Thank you.
Second reading.
The chair would accept a motion for the second reading for emergency bill 6408.
So moved. Second.
Motion made and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Second reading.
Bill number 6408, an emergency ordinance of which upon approval shall become ordinance number 6408 and shall amend Title 4 Land Use, Chapter 405, zoning regulation in the municipal code of the city of Sikeston, Missouri. This bill contains 6 parts and subparts and is read the second time this 27th day of July 2026.
Mr. Blevins, do you have anything to add?
ditto is what I just explained. If there's any different questions, I'll be happy to explain that. But this is basically just to give the right for a business to have the opportunity.
Are there any questions or comments?
Yeah.
Seeing none, the chair will accept a motion.
I move to approve Bill 6408.
Second.
Motion made and second. Roll call vote. David, please.
Drake.
Yes.
Robinson.
Yes.
Teachout.
Yes.
Turnbow.
Yes.
Ware.
Yes.
Bizzle.
Yes.
Thank you. The chair will accept a motion for the first reading of Bill 6409, request to vacate Sykes Street from Center Street to the north of the right-of-way of the abandoned railroad.
So moved.
Motion made and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? First reading, JD.
Bill number 6409, this bill is approved, shall become ordinance number 6409, providing for the approval to vacate Sykes Street, Center Street to the north of the right-of-way of the abandoned railroad. This bill contains 6 parts and subparts and is introduced and read the first time this 27th day of July 2026.
Thank you. Mr. Blevins, you still have the floor.
Thank you, Mayor. So on the July 8th meeting, also P&Z heard of the vacate for Sykes Street. If anybody is familiar with, is it Water Plant 2? Right? Water Plant 2 down here off Center Street. There is a gravel section in between the water plant. That is actually Sykes Street. It has never been known other than that. Most people did not know that, did get a letter through there that was actually a street. They just thought it was a gravel entrance that we used to get to the water plant. So we are asking for this vacate to help go forward with the next phases to redo Plant 2 for BMU, and that will eventually be blocked off and closed. And that's why they need to vacate the street, which the property on both sides is owned by the city of Sikeston, but we need record to show to vacate said street.
Are there any questions or comments? Thank you, Barry. Next item is Resolution 26-07-01, funding for the development of U.S. Route 60 Ingram Road Phase 1 interchange. And Zach, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mayor. Tonight, staff is requesting approval of a resolution authorizing the city to apply for a Delta Regional Authority Community Infrastructure Fund grant in the amount of $1 million. If awarded, these funds would be combined with the city's proposed $1.5 million local match to pursue an additional $2.5 million through MoDOT's cost share program, creating a total $5 million funding package for what we're calling Phase 1 of the Ingram Road Interchange Project. This first phase is a standalone project focused on improving traffic safety around the existing overpass road by realigning the roadway approaches, constructing 2 roundabouts, and building the infrastructure needed to accommodate future interstate improvement. Approval tonight will only authorize the submission of this grant application. Council will have additional opportunities to review and consider the cost share application coming, I think, October. Is that October? And then any proposed financing that might happen if this project moves forward. So staff is requesting council approval to submit this resolution to apply for a DRA SIF for DRA SIF funding. That application is due August 24th. So this is step 1. There'll be other times for council to weigh in depending on funding.
Any questions or comments? Yes, sir.
Did I hear you say there's going to be a roundabout coming off of Ingram there at George E. Day that's going to go on over to the new bridge? Is that what that you said?
They want to build 2 roundabouts on either side of the Ingram overpass bridge. That would be, they would stub out to connect to future outer roads. So there'd be access ramps and future development. This funding would only connect Ingram across that bridge with the roundabouts and stub outs. It's more funding than the city can afford to complete the whole project, but we're hoping this might be a step in seeking funds to start getting that work completed.
But there is going to be roundabouts on each side.
On each side.
Okay.
Yes.
Design has been submitted and approved by the state for what they want at that overpass.
Yeah, we're proposing to implement what MoDOT's already proposed in their Ingram study or Route 60 study. They did it, I think, in the end of 2024. They had a public hearing. All that's publicly online, so you can go to MoDOT's website. You can see their. It's been approved. Yes,
MoDOT actually is the one that designed all of this.
Yep.
So.
And they're submitting a letter of support as well, saying that if we can secure this, we could seek further matching funds if successful.
Any other comments or questions? Seeing none, the chair would accept a motion.
I move we authorize the execution of Resolution 26-07-01.
Second.
Motion made in second. Roll call vote, David, please.
Robinson.
Yes.
Teachout.
Yes.
Turnbow.
Yes.
Ware.
Yes.
Bizzle.
Yes.
Drake.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks.
It was a little bit premature, and I was talking about Richard. Didn't mean to put you on the spot. They were asking questions, but we do have a new associate for the city of Sikeston. Like I said, today's his first day. He's the assistant city manager, and we'll be taking over the public works. Richard, you're more than welcome to say something if you'd like to.
Thanks for putting me on the spot, Mayor.
It happens to me all the time.
No, very excited to be here. Work together with Mr. Douglas and Sikeston's home, and excited to be a part of the improvements that we're doing to the city. So you guys are free to contact me at any time, and like I said, I'm very excited to be here.
Glad to have you aboard. Now, are there? Oh, yes, sir.
On that the courtesy vehicle, I think I heard somebody give a top number to the amount.
Yeah, not to exceed 15,000.
15,000. Thank you.
Now, are there any other items to be brought before the council tonight? Seeing none, the chair would accept a motion to adjourn. Do you have?
Somebody asked me to ask
You got to raise your hand. I can't read your mind.
I know. Okay, so Tamika, she was here last time that we had a meeting. And one of her questions came down to the officers going on administrative leave after what happened to. And then the thing happened at Rhodes. I happened to be there. And yeah, people were upset about that. But I want to know, what are the circumstances where someone would be put on leave?
Gwyneth,
Like administrative leave.
address is council, not the chief.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, the last meeting, he kind of came up and spoke, so I assumed that it would be the same today.
No, he can come up and speak if he wants to speak, but you got to, one, we couldn't hear you when you turn away from the mic, and everybody's got to hear you whenever you turn this
Okay,
way.
so we have a
You
little
have to
bit-
address the council, and then if he wants to come up and talk with you, that's his.
My bad. I thought it would be similar to last time. So then what are the circumstances where somebody would be put on administrative leave after an incident?
I would say typically if we felt that somebody, that their continued employment and access to DPS systems and whatnot posed any risk to an investigation or something along those lines, or if we believe they were, if we had reason to believe they were guilty of some wrongdoing, we would put them on administrative leave. Or if for their own safety and health, we have also done that before. But with none of those things present, we would typically not put somebody on leave.
Well, a lot of people were very upset and protesting, and even media coverage, and I feel like that could have affected Officer Riddle's mental state too.
We did, Chief and the patrol captain reviewed the incident at Rhodes, and that use of force was completely justified and acceptable. No matter what anybody else thinks, under the law, that was completely justified, and the person in the wrong was the person that approached the police officer.
So her walking up to the officer and
That
handcuffing.
was a violation of the law.
Okay. And with the strike that he did, it appears to be closed fist. So then that is inaccurate or illegal response then to somebody walking up to an officer in handcuffs and screaming.
It was an open-handed push upon review of that.
Okay.
And
Okay.
justified under the law.
All right. It did appear that way though on the video.
It was reviewed by Chief McMillan and I believe Captain Broom.
Okay. So then if I do file an open records request for that body camera, I can get it.
Chief, any thoughts on that?
It's, of course, there was charges as resulting from that. It's, that would be up to, you could get the initial report.
Okay.
But it's still going to be a closed record at this point, being prosecuted.
Okay. Okay. So is the girl facing charges then?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. But okay, when it comes to though the situation with Lloyd Gilmore and all of the reaction to it, I understand that a large group of officers were involved. So to decide who would go on administrative leave could be difficult in a situation like that where you have a lot of officers involved. Everybody was doing kind of something different. But so then how are those decisions made? And again, if this situation was one that was being widely talked about to the point where it could affect the officers involved mental health, what is it that kept us from putting them on administrative leave to protect even them? What is it that stopped that decision from being made? I want to know the causes. Why?
You know, you're talking about judgment calls of whether that's just absence any legal justification. You're just talking about a judgment call of what's needed there.
Do officers have to have? Did they have to have done something illegal to be put on administrative leave? If there is question over their actions or the way that they handled a situation, is that not grounds for administrative leave?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think if our initial review of the incident led us to believe that there were policy violations or law violations, we would likely put them on leave.
So then y'all had reviewed what happened.
We had access to the body cam early on. So yes, we did an initial review, but then we turn the entire investigation over to Highway Patrol.
Okay.
And see, and Gwyneth, when the Highway Patrol got the video and all the evidence, they didn't come back to us and say, you need to put this person on administrative leave or.
So that investigation is complete then?
No.
No? Okay, okay.
No, but Gwyneth, it's like this. If you see something that's wrong immediately, then you can tell somebody to do something. But if you don't see something that occurred, in other words, you're asking them if they see something that they needed to put an officer on administrative leave or get a hold of chief and be able to do that, they would have. There was no reason why they wouldn't, but they did not see anything fit right now for us to have to do that.
And when we get that report back from Highway Patrol, if they have some findings after their detailed review of everything that happened, we'll take whatever appropriate actions based on any information they give us.
Okay. I do want to talk about when Mr. Lloyd asked to go inside the police department. Are there any rules or procedures that say you cannot bring somebody into the police department to discuss something, even if they appear to be in an erratic state?
I would say I don't want to speculate. I think it'd be inappropriate for us to speculate.
Speculate? I'm asking about what was actually written in the report.
Yeah, again, the Highway Patrol is investigating all that. I think it would be unwise and inappropriate for us to speculate on how that exact part of that situation that's under investigation.
I'm not asking to speculate. I'm asking if there are rules and regulations that stop that from happening, from somebody going inside to discuss a problem. Are there any rules or regulations that prevent that for either the safety of officers, to make sure that there's order in the area? Are there actual rules and procedures that say,
when going inside to being outside, what does it matter? He could have stated, if anybody wants to come up to a police officer, if I go outside right now and want to go up to chief and say, hey, I got a concern, I can say a concern to the chief. There's nothing, but for me to go, chief, I need you to take me somewhere, I could just say anything I wanted to him.
And chief can feel free if he wants to add to this. I don't know that he has to. But if there's not grounds to take somebody into custody, we're not going to take him into custody, even if
he didn't ask to be taken into custody. He asked to go inside and talk.
He did ask to be taken into custody.
Okay, so then the report, how that was written then, is not
Gwyneth,
accurate.
Here's my, instead of speculating and moving everything.
I'm not speculating. I've read the report.
You read
We're just not going to comment on this ongoing investigation.
And when it's,
I know it's frustrating.
When it's done, Gwyneth,
we can't do it.
Here's what I don't understand. When it's done, when the whole investigation is done, you'll get. As far as the reports and everything else from the State Highway Patrol, you'll get everything that it said. So then that way the questions will all be answered. But for us, and we're not. You say speculate, not speculate. It's being investigated right now, and for us to give any opinion on.
I'm not. Rules and procedures are not opinion, and. To be clear, I do believe that the people do deserve to have a little bit of understanding of why the information that's out there now is the information that's out there now. When it comes to the actual report that was written on June 10th, it says that Lloyd said that he wanted to go inside to discuss a conflict with his daughter. And he was told no because he does not have criminal charges against him. He's not being taken into custody. So that's my question, is if somebody's not being taken into custody, does that mean that they cannot go inside? Because to me, which I understand that you all cannot speculate, but for me, I'm trying to understand the hidden dynamics of what happened in this. I'm not trying to demonize anybody, but I want to understand, when somebody comes to the police to ask for help, what are the even just societally in our area, what are the things that can prevent somebody from actually getting help when they need it? Because there was an event on June 2nd. And I've read that report. And I'm still trying to figure out how to address this in a way that actually helps people.
I'll tell you what, Glenn. Here's the best way you can address this: is when your 3 minutes is up, and whenever the report comes out, you can see exactly what was said, what was done, and what the effects were. And then, if you have any questions after that, then you can ask those questions. But for you to sit here now and for us to even try to even communicate to you, Because anything that we try to communicate on how we feel or what we think or stuff like that, you're basing it all upon, you're saying that it's nothing to do with this situation, but it has everything to do with this situation. You and I both know it. So what I'm trying to say is once it gets done, then you can see everything that they looked at for the report and then make your basis off of that. Okay?
I don't make bases. I'm here to tell the story of what happened and allow other people to come to their own conclusions.
Gwyneth, right now, you're trying to box us in and say, what of this, what of this? What we're trying to tell you is we're not going to make speculations of what is right, what is wrong, or anything like that. What is legal, what is not legal. What we're not going to do, we don't have the results from that. We're sitting here waiting just like everybody else. And all the things that you're talking about the police report and stuff, yes, there were police reports out, but that's just a piece of the puzzle. That is
just a piece of everything.
That's just a piece of the puzzle. You need to put the whole thing together because one piece does not answer all the questions. So once you get the rest of the puzzle, then if you have questions, then bring those to us. But to trying to get something from us now is not going to happen.
Okay. Well, to be clear, I have no intention of boxing anybody in here. I am very passionate about the intricacies of situations like this. And my concern does not really come as much down to right or wrong, but everything that led up to it and then what could happen after to prevent things like this from happening again.
But the thing what we're trying to say is you're saying all of this, but you don't know what all the things that happened.
You're right, I don't know.
So until that comes out, right now, I'm sitting here just like everybody else, and we're trying to say, when those things come out, then let's have a discussion and let's talk about them and let's look at things, all right? But right now, you're saying, well, I'm just trying to find out this and this.
So the problem then comes down to asking questions about what's in the report?
I'm seeing a piece of the puzzle just like you are. And I can't put the puzzle together because I don't have all the facts and I don't have everything that the Missouri Highway Patrol has on their investigation. When that becomes available, that's whenever you have questions about how something was done or something like that, then that's the time to talk about it. Today isn't the day. Your 3 minutes are up.
Okay.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, the chair will accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made and second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are now adjourned.